Hey, welcome back. I'm Ferrixter, here to bring you some Pokemon Go Battle League battles. You know, a long time ago, I was number one on the leaderboard. That was all the way back in November 18th, 2020, and relevant now because that was the Kanto Cup. So I pushed my way up into the leaderboard on day one, and I think I hit number one on day two. So I feel like since the Kanto Cup is coming back, probably a good time to use this footage because if I don't use it now, I'll probably never have the chance to. So might as well make use of these games before they become super irrelevant. Before I start, my team, not starting with Shadow Charizard, not using Shadow Charizard at all. I know that's like expected of me, and that would have been an easy thing to do because Wigglytuff was so prevalent, especially in the first few days. But actually going with Alolan Sandslash in the lead. I like Alolan Sandslash in the lead because it's very fast and spammy, so it can kind of force its way into a one shield or the two shield if desired. And in the two shield, it often can win a lot of those matchups. So if I feel like it's going to be important to have switch advantage, Alolan Sandslash is pretty good for forcing its way there. Double weak to fighting and double weak to fire. But absolutely walls, fairies, and grass. So that kind of balances it out. And again, all the other neutral matchups, it definitely has some play. In the back, I've got Shadow Lapras with Water Gun, Surf, and Skull Bash. I went with Water Gun over Ice Shard because Ice Shard requires an elite TM, and I didn't want to spend it. I don't know. Also, definitely needed the extra fire type coverage. So let's go with that instead of that I'm too cheap. And also in the back, I've got Wigglytuff, which was just really common and very popular, and I mean, meaningfully so. It's very strong. Also has an okay-ish, very situational matchup against Alolan, who was also very popular. But yeah, let's hop into these games. So, first battle against Liz X. This person, amazingly, is running triple fire. So obviously I have to switch out right away. And I tend to switch into Lapras against Alolan because the problem with switching Wigglytuff in, aside from it being like a neutral matchup, is that Alolan won't throw a move. They will just farm up tons of energy and then switch out. And all of that banked energy will be really useful later against everything else that I've got. So against Alolan, I'm forced to switch into Lapras. And because this Alolan Marowak stayed in, I decided to just start shielding because clearly whatever's in the back must be even worse if they weren't going to switch out. And I mean, yeah, there's a Charizard in the back with Dragon Breath. Get the last shield, and it looks like I feel like they could have thrown a Dragon Claw there, but I guess it wouldn't have taken me out. But I get to this second Surf, and yeah, the Charizard goes down. And then there's Kanto Tails in the back, which is nuts. Triple fire. This person is amazing. Like my compliments to Lizex, really. Fortunately, I have this Water Gun Lapras, so this worked out fairly well for me. And then I could have brought Wigglytuff in, but didn't want to reveal my team in case I encounter this person again. So yeah, just sent Alola Slash back in. Next match against Golden Mugen. Wigglytuff lead, very common. It might be less common in the upcoming Kanto Cup because Kanto Tails is stronger, and Alola Tails is also stronger. Might be a contender for a better Charmer. Alola Tails gets walled, more or less, by Alola Slash, but Kanto Tails obviously will burn through it with no problem. Definitely wouldn't want Alola Slash as a safe swap. That would be terrible. So against Alolan Muck switch-ins, if I already have energy, I'll throw energy because if I can feign a Bulldoze, they will most likely shield that. And then I switch in Shadow Lapras, and the Water Gun damage really adds up very quickly. It has a lot more farm down potential because of Water Gun. And Wigglytuff comes back out. I'm going to throw this Surf. Try to build up for another one. I'm probably going to make it. Oh, okay. Never mind, I guess I'm not doing that. Not really paying attention as much because I'm definitely monologuing instead. So yeah, Alolan Sandslash versus Hypno. This is a winning matchup. You just have to shield the the Fire Punch if they have it. A lot of times, if they switch out right away, it means they don't have Fire Punch, so I don't really worry about it as much. If they end up staying in, I will shield the first punch, which a lot of times will end up being a Thunder Punch bait, but I mean, that's fine. That just means that I'm comfortable after that to tank the next one. I would have had to shield one of the Thunder Punches anyway, so it might as well be the first one. But yeah, Wigglytuff comes back in, and Wigglytuff is a strong closer. A lot of people are running it in the lead because they are trying to force switch advantage, and that's specifically one of the reasons that I really like opening with Alolan Sandslash, because it upsets that plan. Dugong lead. Dugong wasn't as popular as I expected it to have been. Not sure why. It really is a great Pokemon. Now that Alola Tails and Kanto Tails are going to be back, what does that mean? Yeah, there'll probably be slightly more Dugongs. Not meaningfully so, because it's not a hard counter to either. But it has decent play against those, so we'll definitely end up displacing some of the Pokemon that really don't. So Alolan Sandslash into Dugong, just go straight Bulldoze and kind of throw them out more or less as fast as you can. They will beat you to the Icy Wind, but if you get ahead of them, that probably means there's a Water Pulse coming. If they Water Pulse bait and you end up shielding an Icy Wind, that's really bad, so I will just not shield against Dugongs for the most part, because they have to throw really 2 Water Pulses, and you'll get out plenty of moves in that time. Dugong will be left low enough that I can bring in Lapras or Wigglytuff to farm down. So thankfully I get rid of that before I end up eating an Icy Wind. That's always good, and I have taken basically no damage and have a little bit of energy, which is generally pretty useful on Lapras, because Lapras doesn't have a lot of things that just kind of wall it. So throw that first Surf. Mew, actually, for this cup, it was pretty common to run Stone Edge and Surf, which is wild to me that people would, use 50 TMs to change their Mew's movesets. But, I mean, if it'll get you those wins, I guess it's totally worth it. So, yeah, Mew, very unpredictable. A lot more predictable in Open Great League. For Kanto Cup, it can surprise you. Alolan Muck has a neutral-ish matchup against Shadow Lapras. I can take 2 Dark Pulses, but just barely. If I take the Sludge Wave, then I can't survive the next Dark Pulse. So generally speaking, I will end up shielding the first move if they've built up to the Sludge Wave, and then from there I can survive another Dark Pulse or even another Sludge Wave and win that matchup no problem. Pressuring this Mew, and yeah, it was the Stone Edge variety, which is crazy to me. But I mean, yeah, like I said, whatever gets you that wins. I'm not even sure what Stone Edge is really for. What is that for exactly in the Kanto Cup? Anyway, so Alola Slash into Hypno. This matchup is fine if they don't have Fire Punch. Because they switched out right away, that tells me they almost definitely don't have Fire Punch, so if I end up aligned with that Hypno again, I'm going to end up no shielding for sure. Alolan Muck is a really, really popular safe swap, I have found. So just shield this first move, and now I can Water Gun the rest of the way down. I can tank whatever move this is. I think this is a Dark Pulse. Is it? No, this is the Sludge Wave. Okay, it does that much damage. But yeah, Lapras can survive that easily. Had to go down a shield, but I have plenty of energy because Water Gun is really good for farming down these Cantonian Mons. And they come out with their own Lapras. I throw this Skull Bash right away, which, I mean, I don't know. It leaves me in a really awkward position where I can't really swap out, and I'm not going to make it to another Skull Bash. So really, I probably should have either baited the Surf first and then swapped out, or to bank a Surf. Anything really is better than what I did. What I did there, that was bad. I'm in a rough position here. I squeeze a Charmin, and then I correctly no-shield the Surf. And they are building up. I think at this point they are built up to the Skull Bash, so I will shield this. Hopefully it is a Skull Bash, but nope, it's another Surf. 1, to, so they're at 6 now. So they're at like a surf and a half. And Hypno comes back out. I store a charge move with Wigglytuff and switch back into Alola Slash because the Hypno had switched out right away. I was confident that it didn't have Fire Punch. If it did, wow, that was mind games. But no. So that was not a CMP tie. It was a desynced one. So I did that intentionally so I'd be able to throw this second Ice Punch. And I really was surprised that they didn't get the shield. And I was feeling so confident at this point. But this Lapras had so much energy. It built up to back, and I couldn't even just throw my move and win the CMP because they had saved their shield. So that was a crazy heads-up play by my opponent. Really, really well done. GG. Like, that was actually really great. Oof, I felt terrible after that. But, yeah. All right, Sandslash into Shadow Hypno. Pretty much the same thing, although Shadow Hypno, it's more common for a Shadow Hypno to have 2 punches, and normally that is Fire and Thunder. I throw this first Ice Punch, and it's fine. I'm going to shield here, and now I'm going to be able to force it into the 2 shield. Okay, Thunder Punch. So apparently didn't have Fire Punch. Built up to an extra Confusion, and then swapped into Alolan Golem. And a lot of times these Alolan Golem swap-ins, a lot of times it's an Alolan Graveler in the back also. An ABB team with double Alolan Geodude things in the back. So shield the first Wild Charge, and I wish I had gotten in an extra Charm there. Eat this Wild Charge. Double defense dropped, and they barely survived that Charm. So now they have switch advantage and they're up a shield. It's not an amazing position, but I do have like some decent energy here. So I get this out, and I mean, the fact that the Hypno came back in means that whatever is in the back is pretty bad against the Alolan Sandslash. So I'm just hoping that it's something that the few overlaps that I have with Lapras, that Lapras can take care of. But yeah, so in the Zero Shield, Alolan Muck will just barely outpace Water Gun Lapras. Like if I was so close to that Skull Bash, if I had snuck in a Water Gun or something, which is like ridiculous, then maybe I could have gotten there. But yeah, that was one of the matchups where having Ice Shard would have been really helpful. Just not quite willing to spend the Elite TM to change those matchups around, especially because I would have sacrificed so much of my fire coverage. But yeah, 3 out of 5. Not bad. I think this was still like day 1. So, oh my gosh, is this the game where I do it? Oh my gosh. This is, this is bad. I don't know why I'm throwing the Bulldoze. Bulldoze is a terrible move. I just had no idea how much it did, and I don't think I quite grasped just how bad Bulldoze was. Like, Ice Punch is not great, but at least with Alolan Sandslash, it's stab. Yeah, don't Bulldoze neutral things with Bulldoze, unless, like, Bulldoze does slightly more damage in a neutral situation than Ice Punch, but unless it's gonna save you from having to throw an extra charge move, it's not worth it. Ice Punch is the way to go. It's much more efficient. But yeah. All right, what do we got here? Oh my gosh, Victory Bell. Victory Bell would be really terrifying if I didn't have Alola Slash. Alola Slash really just walls it. Look at how little those Razor Leafs are doing. Granted, that one's not Shadow. My opponent switches into Wigglytuff to try to catch a move, which was definitely the play. That's definitely what they needed to do. But I'm just going to bring my own Wigglytuff in, charm the rest of the way down, and I banked a move on Alola Slash, and I have a shield. So even though I'm going to get Razor Leaf down and they'll have built up to a Leaf Blade, not going to matter. I'm just going to CMP. I'm just going to lose CMP tie, shield, whatever this is. Turned out to be Acid Spray. That's cool. And yeah, get this Ice Punch off. And Ice Punch does plenty to take out a Victory Bell. I think it does like 80% or so if they were at full health, which means it basically one-shots a Shadow. Wow, I stuck around to think a long time before I stopped recording that one. All right, next up against Chaser PHX. Alola Slash into Shadowlax. So Alolan Slash gets to an Ice Punch a little bit faster than Snorlax can get to a Body Slam. So that means I can just shield one move, and if they no shield this, then I can just shield the first move, and even if it's a Body Slam bait, they won't even be able to get to a superpower before I'm able to take them out. But I tried to get fancy and try to catch a superpower on Wigglytuff, but no, it was just a Body Slam. I should have just stuck around. And they managed to get in a few extra licks before my charm connected and managed to get another Body Slam. That is the most that they can do against Alolan Sandslash. The way I play that match now is to just stay in and win switch. So I'm waiting out the switch clock here because they didn't swap and I did, so their switch timer is up. And honestly, I'm surprised they didn't switch out instantly when Lapras came in. I'm not sure, maybe they didn't realize that my switch timer wasn't up yet. So I no shield the Shadow Bone because, I mean, I had 2 shields. I figured, yeah, for sure this would be a Bone Club. But no. Going straight away and then sending out the next Bone Club. But yeah, Alolan Muck came out, and I'm in an okay position here because I'm just going to throw that Surf and then switch in here. I'm not going to shield this move because I have enough health that I'm going to survive a Dark Pulse. Why did I shield that? Oh my gosh. All right, apparently, yeah, me from back then didn't really have too much of an idea what he was doing in here. But I mean, these matchups are okay. But yeah, there was no need to shield that Dark Pulse. Now I won't really survive this Dark Pulse, but would have barely survived the other one and been able to get a move off. So there was really no need to play that the way that I played it. But that's all right. I'm gonna surf this Alolan Muck, and because I'm a Shadow, I'm gonna be able to Water Gun that Marowak down just before it got to its next Bone Club. When that last Fire Spin connected, it had enough energy. So if I had been non-Shadow Lapras, I think I would have been taken out there. Next up against DSRP. Right, Alolan Raticate. That's different. I encountered very few of these. But Alolan Raticate is running Crunch as the spammier move, and I can actually spam out Ice Punches a little bit faster. So Raticate will win the Zero Shield, but if I can shield once, then and throw 2 Ice Punches, even if they, no shield them both, I'll be able to farm them the rest of the way down with Powder Snow. So just going to shield this Crunch because, I mean, they're shielding in a matchup where they're going to be outpaced. So it's kind of a strange choice on their part. But, I mean, that's okay. We're all learning the game at this point. If they shield this, then I would... Oh, okay. Yeah, if this was pushed to the 2 shield, I would have outpaced them to the 4th Ice Punch. So I would have won that anyway. So I definitely had to switch in Lapras at some point here. I'm going to get to this Surf before they have enough energy to throw a Focus Blast. And no matter what they do, I mean, if they're going to Focus Blast me, I'm just going to let it happen and let Wigglytuff come back out. Yeah, that's that's super unusual, but I mean, sometimes that's just what's going to happen. So, yeah, just going to farm the rest of the way down. I can shield this, even though it was, wow, double nukes on that Hypno. That's crazy. Because now I have a move stored, and this is obviously going to take out my champ. So I'm able to wrap up this game, no problem. GG. But yeah, I mean, winning switch advantage was super important, absolutely necessary for that win. And yeah, it's just one of the reasons that Alolan Sandslash is pretty strong as a lead. I have not encountered very many back then. I'm really kind of surprised. So, all right, against the Alolan Graveler, if this is the Stone Edge, it will like nearly one-shot, but the Rock Blast not nearly as strong. So I correctly no-shield the Rock Blast, so it puts me in a pretty good position. And they shielded my Ice Punch bait, which is great. This is going pretty well for me. And Lickitung comes in. And Lickitung is going to be a little bit stronger also in in the Kanto Cup coming up, because now that it can XL, it'll be a lot more effective. Oh my gosh, this is... I remember this matchup, and this is just crazy. So, I mean, the licks are doing, like, basically nothing, and I'm just barely surviving a third body slam. Not going to throw my move, and I was looking at this, and I really figured, you know what, I'm pretty sure I can survive this if I no-shield it, and this is so ridiculously close and so unnecessary. Oh my gosh. Survive with like a sliver, and I am forced to throw a move instantly, which means that it's going to be the play rough. So yeah, they swapped in a Kanto muck to eat the play rough, knowing that I was going to be like insta throwing a move, and knowing that it was going to be the play rough because I had so little health I wouldn't survive if something came out and like threw a counter or something. So it was forced to insta blind throw. So yeah, that was well played by my opponent to throw out the muck to catch the play rough there, save themselves a shield. So, I mean, yeah, good for me. Alolan Graveler can be a little bit of a problem for Lapras. Obviously, my water guns are doing super effective damage, so I'm able to farm down like that. But yeah, really cannot survive a Stone Edge one-shots for sure. Shadow Kanto Muck. That's a spicy pick. GG to my opponent, and cool team, man. Next up against Altair. Altair? I don't know. Alola Slash into Alola Muck. I mean, there's no reason for them to bait, so they're just going to be going straight Dark Pulse. Obviously, I have immunity tier resistance to poison, although somehow among all these games, I didn't manage to catch a single Sludge Wave. So I'm just going to throw this Ice Punch and then throw the next one out. Yeah, because they shielded, I'm just going to Mirror Shield. Alola Slash will win in every even shield situation. And they switch out to Hitmonchan, and I was too slow to the swap, so I got... Alola Slash got punched in the face twice, which is a lot like Charizard getting hit with a rock. And yeah, fainted out. So that was rough. But, I mean, at least I'm able to come out with Wigglytuff and train it on this Hitmonchan. And now Marowak comes out, and I'm able to swap out to Lapras right away. Which is great, because if I had not done that... so actually, it ended up working out for me that I was too slow to the swap, because if I had swapped in to Wigglytuff, I would have been stuck against Marowak, which would have farmed me all the way down and had tons and tons of energy. Would have had 2 full Shadow Bones ready for Lapras, and I think that might have actually flipped the game. So, yeah, good thing for me, I'm not that good at this game. Too slow to the swap, and yeah, I'm able to take that game because I played a little bit poorly. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm sure you're here for better commentary than this, but yeah, that's the best I got for that game. I don't know. That was only okay play. Somehow I get a shiny Skarmory after that, which is nice. Not a hundo, which is the thing that I actually needed, but I didn't know it at the time because XL wasn't out yet. All right. So yeah, at the end of that set, I ended up being number 9 on the leaderboard. I had no idea because they weren't showing you your MMR, your ELO, weren't showing it to you after the match. So I had no idea that I was doing well. But yeah, now I know. So it's not like I'm going to take it more seriously now. Just, I don't know. Now I know. So here I switched Wigglytuff into an Alolan Marowak, which is, honestly, that's just really bad. I should not do that. And that Alolan Marowak should not have thrown the Bone Club. Should have just fire spun away and switched out when they were just absolutely full of energy. I guess this is about the same, still ending with tons and tons of energy. I mean, I have switch advantage now, so now I'm able to get Lapras on this Marowak, but I'm pretty sure they have like 2 full Shadow Bones ready, and yeah, thankfully they didn't bait me with Bone Club. Take that first one. Oh, man. Yeah, that is so much energy that they've got. Oh my gosh. And they switch out to Wigglytuff. So this is fine. I'm just going to throw this Surf. I pick up a shield, that's fine, and now I switch out to Alolan Sandslash, who pretty much walls Wigglytuff. Charm is a really good move, so even though I'm resisting these charms, they're still doing kind of a lot. And yeah, Wigglytuff's charge moves hit kind of hard, so I am actually going to have to shield this thing. Oh, okay. Would have had to shield the player that they were going to throw, but would have ended that with a ton of energy, enough to bulldoze the Alolan Marowak. And even if I wasn't able to, and they were able to fire off a charge move to take me out beforehand, Lapras would have come in and water gunned down. They weren't going to be able to take that. So against Lapras, against Ice Shard Lapras, Water Gun Lapras would be way, way worse. But against Ice Shard Lapras, I am double resisting the Ice Shards, just like they're double resisting my Powder Snow. And rather than throw, I'm going to switch out and try to catch this Surf on my own Lapras. So I managed to get that. And here you're going to actually see, from more or less even starting HP, Water Gun Lapras versus Ice Shard Lapras. Ice Shard Lapras gets to their move ever so slightly faster. So I'm just going to shield, and in this we're just going to more or less go straight Skull Bash. So they get to their Skull Bash first. I'm trying to fast move deny very carefully so that they don't get any extra Ice Shards, and also just going straight Skull Bash there. But yeah, you can see how the Water Gun damage is actually adding up, and the Ice Shard is being double resisted, so it's doing basically nothing. So going to shield this second Skull Bash, and at this point they are low enough that I could double Surf. So I'm going to throw this first Surf, and if they no shield, fine, I'll just throw the second one. But I get the shield on the first one, so that's great. So now I'm going to build up even more, and I'm able to get to the Skull Bash before they are able to get to theirs. But like, looking at this, could 100% have just thrown the Surf and would have been fine. I mean, that's just me. It was staring at these buttons really hard, trying to count, and wasn't sure if it was really going to KO because of how many times we had each risen our defense. But yeah, I'm just going to come back out with a Alola Slash. Plenty of energy because I farmed up a ton of energy before switching out, and now there's a Alolan Marowak in the back, but that's okay. I have my Bulldoze ready. That's going to connect, and now I'm going to switch into Wigglytuff, and if they had Fire Blast, they would be able to Fire Blast me, but clearly they didn't have that, and I'm able to take that game. GG. Next up against Jonkus. Actually, I think it's pronounced Jonkus, so... Yeah, Jonkus. Opening Pidgeot, obviously Alolan Sandslash has a really, really strong matchup there. And he switches into Electrode, which was a very popular safe swap for the Love Cup. Didn't really see it as much in Kanto, but it did start to pick up steam towards the end of Kanto Cup. So yeah, we might be seeing a few more of that. He built up to 6, which is enough to back-to-back discharge. I was going to have to shield one of them anyway, so it might as well be the first one. Because have definitely been hyper beamed before. And then Pidgeot comes back out, and I'm just going to throw this Ice Beam right away. I think that sending Pidgeot back out may have been kind of a mistake, because Pidgeot does get to build up energy kind of quickly with Gust, but its charge moves don't do very much to Alola Slash. So I think bringing in Pidgeot afterwards was kind of a mistake. I think Marowak should have come in to farm down, because it's harder to wall Marowak's energy, especially since Wigglytuff is already out there. Wigglytuff is really one of the only things that walls Marowak's energy effectively, that and Snorlax. But yeah, I mean, that was the decision. Clearly, Jonkus is a very good player, and he didn't know my backline, so maybe that was the sensible decision. But now Pidgeot's going to come back out. I'm going to throw this Surf. Shields are down, and after this, I am just going to either go down or try to switch out to Sandslash as soon as I can. Sandslash can easily survive like a Brave Bird, or... Geez, does Pidgeot learn anything normal type? I know the normal moveset is Aerial Ace as the kind of bait move and non-debuffing move, and Brave Bird. But yeah, Alola Slash pretty much does wall that. So Alolan Muck in the lead. Not super common. See it much more as a safe swap. So I'm just going to no-shield this first Dark Pulse. Survive that okay, and... Oof, they actually managed to catch... They were trying to catch a Bulldoze, but I was baiting Ice Punch anyway, so this isn't nearly as bad. Catch that on Hypno. Hypno is so thick. Oof. But, yeah. Switching Wigglytuff to charm the rest of the way down. They're not quite built up to a Focus Blast, so I'm not going to shield this. I'm pretty sure it's just a punch. Normal is Thunder Punch. Excuse me, Thunder Punch and Shadow Ball, and Shadow Ball obviously doesn't do very much. to Wigglytuff, who double resisted. So just need to shield this second Thunder Punch, and I can charm the rest of the way down. Now I'm going to get that shield back. Wigglytuff comes out. I'm just going to throw this Play Rough. Definitely going to shield and charm me down. That's fine. Now Alola Slash comes back out. Alright, now I'm doing the correct thing, which is throwing Ice Punches. Bulldoze, a terrible choice to throw at a Wigglytuff. Wow, they actually switched out and caught this Ice Punch on their Alolan Muck. That's crazy. But yeah, now I'm going to be able to Water Gun the rest of the way down. For some reason, they didn't throw, even though I'm certain they had the energy to throw the Sludge Wave. I'm not sure why they didn't throw it right away. I guess they might have overtapped. Ooh, actually Dark Pulse baited, which is interesting because they're not going to get out a second charge move no matter what. Maybe they had Acid Spray. I have seen that. And yeah, Wigglytuff comes back out, and I'm going to throw this Surf and take that game. GG. What do we got? Hallelujah, boys. Yeah. Sandslash into Alolan Muck again. So just going to play this the same way, build up to a Bulldoze, and then bait with Ice Punch. If the Bulldoze lands, it would be devastating. No need to shield this first Dark Pulse. It's fine. I will kind of let them decide if they want to take this into the 1 shield or the 2 shield when I throw this Ice Punch. Even if they no shield it, it's fine. I'll still be able to get to another Ice Punch well before they get to their second Dark Pulse. So yeah, great to get the shield and push this into the multi-shield, but if they don't, I can still take this into 0. No problem. And now Alolan Marowak comes out, just trying to get off an Ice Punch, but not quite going to happen. And now I can have the alignment that I need, have my Shadow Lapras on. So shielding this first Shadow Bone, and Machamp comes out, that's fine. Switch into Wigglytuff. Here I make kind of a strange move, like I know this is Cross Chop, but for whatever reason I shielded anyway. I think that was a mistake. Probably should have no shielded, taken the damage. I would have gotten farmed down by Marowak anyway. I mean, now Marowak is going to be forced to throw energy, but they're going to be able to throw 1 Bone Club and then Fire Spin me the rest of the way down and have tons and tons of energy for my Lapras. Oof, they even managed to sneak in an extra Fire Spin, which means I get 1 Charms less of damage. That's a lot of energy. Okay, here we go. So Lapras comes back out. I'm going to be able to reach a Surf, but there's no reason to throw it because we are in fast move range and he has a shield left. Just barely managed to Water Gun down. I am pretty sure that that last Fire Spin actually gave them enough to get to their next Bone Club. So yeah, really close. GG to my opponent though. Managed to take that, and I get a Scraggy, which is... that's cool. I like Scraggy. Still don't have the rank 1 Ultra League XL, and I will be trying to get Scraggy for the next ever to get enough XL candy. So yeah, it brings me up to who knows what? No idea. I only get to find out the following day, where I found out it was 2804, bringing me to number 1. So yeah, that was my team. Those were my games. Hope you really enjoyed them. I guess before I close this, I should probably make some comments about what's going to be different. So, expecting there to be more Kanto Tails, there were 1 used by someone who was running Triple Fire, and that was clearly, that brought them to number 23. So that apparently is a totally viable strategy, and it's going to be ever so slightly stronger because Kanto Tails has been meaningfully improved. Alola Tails also has been improved by getting Weather Ball Ice. That's going to be a much more viable choice also. So, yeah, probably going to see quite a few more of that. Shadow Bone has been nerfed. I don't think that's going to be a meaningful change. It was a very minor nerf, kind of like what they did to Rock Slide. Didn't really change Galarian Stunfisk's popularity. I don't think that's going to change Alolan Marowak. So, with there being a little bit more fire, probably going to play the same team anyway, give that a shot. If I end up seeing tons and tons of Kanto Tails in the lead, then I will probably be switching this around and leading with Shadow Lapras with Water Gun. Because Shadow Lapras with Water Gun also has a lot of winning matchups. I think that's a very strong choice. Don't see a lot of Water Gun Lapras, But I mean, I think they're fantastic in this meta, and will probably be a little bit more so because they have a pretty good matchup against Kanto Tails and Alola Tails, who will be more popular. And yeah, geez, any other notes? No, I guess that's it. You know what? This video is already really long. Tomorrow, actually, follow me on Twitch. Tomorrow I'm going to stream 6 sets of Kanto Cup. Going to use my team, so if you're not willing to experiment with this team until you're sure that it works in the slightly new meta, then yeah, tune in tomorrow and I'll run those experiments for us. It'll be a lot of fun. I'll see you then. And yeah, don't forget to do the things that you're supposed to do at the ends of videos. You know what I mean? All right, bye.